Hello everybody, nice to have you here. On last video we talked about events on Adobe Commerce and events on a builder, and I realized that everything we did was made via the interfaces of Adobe App Builder. And then I thought, okay, there are not only interfaces available, so there are also, you can do all those actions we looked on them last time. You can do with IO tool, which is CLI command. And it can make your life much easier, because if you're working with it quite often, then you know most of the commands and you can just run them when you need to, and it's quite fast. So today I decided to make a small follow-up video so we can have a look together which commands are available and how to work with them. It will not take a lot of your time, so enjoy. Before I will start, I want to do it directly. Want to remind you, don't forget to subscribe. If you like the channel, like the video, leave the comment what you like or don't like. Also, some time ago I opened the Buy Me a Coffee, and I will be really happy for your support, because it's taking a lot of time and energy to lead the channel, so I definitely need some coffee to recover after. So let's have a look. As usually, there is available documentation, which is quite good. So let's have a look. I assume you have Adobe I/O CLI tool installed. So we will not go on this step. I also will paste a link down if you don't have it. So please install it. And then after you on your profile, so on your organization, project and workspace, you can use I/O to manage the events and event providers and event metadata directly from the terminal. So we will jump in directly there. So we will again proceed from the step we ended it last time. Let me show it. So we have our application, which is in production workspace, and we have here several events. We registered it last time, and that's already working registrations, and they also have some provider assigned to them, which is, okay, in this case, provider label, very useful. And what we can do, we can call IO event, and then you will see the list of the available commands to work with events. So there are three main objects: is event metadata, provider, and registration. Provider is like an upper level, so that's a provider of the events. That's let's have a look what do we have on the list. So it's event provider, and then you have those create, delete, get, list, and update. So the usual CRUD operation, and the same command you have for all of them. So you don't need to learn something very new. And then after we will get a list of them, we will see the big list, which is, sorry, I need to blur out, but what is relevant for us, it's in the provider that we created last time. So yeah, and that's our provider. So it's provider label, yeah. That's the ID. You would definitely need it if you work on other levels like metadata and events. You can also make get by ID, for example, and then you will have information about the provider. We can have a look also on the metadata. So let's say if you'll jump in back to the event metadata. No, metadata, sorry. So event metadata list by provider ID. So we have our event. So that's our catalog product save after, which we registered on last time, which is event coming from Adobe Commerce here. And then as a next step, we can see all registration. So it's event registration list, and that's our registration. So we have those 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the same as you see right here. Yes, so I honestly have a great plan to record a very nice video about showing you how I created hundreds of the event registrations for the same webhook, and just to fire them and see how awesome they are. I failed by the reason that there is a limit on amount of events you can use, and let me directly show it. So you have for your organization maximum 2,500 registrations, and you cannot change it. you have 10 registrations per credential, so basically per workspace. So you can have 10 on staging, 10 on production. Yeah, so that's the limits. This one you can adjust. This one you cannot adjust. So when I started to create 100 events, I hit this 10 and then realized, okay, I cannot proceed anymore. But let's do it together. So for create the new event registration, you need to prepare the JSON configuration file, and it will look like following. So let's make some YouTube demo. That's our registration. So we give in the name and description. Then we have a delivery type, which is a webhook. It can be a webhook badge, which means it will not work one-to-one. So when it's receiving event and directly sending the webhooks, so it will aggregate some of them in batch and will sell multiple like events to the target system. And also have a journaling, which will do nothing and just will save it to API, which is always the case. So in case, even if you have a webhook, you still can find it then in journaling API. By the way, if you you don't need to remember this one. If you'll make IO event registration create, then it will give you this example, like similar one. And you can see here the delivery types: webhook, webhook badge, journal. Then we have webhook URL. So that's a URL where we want to send a request to. Then we need to provide the provider ID and event code. So makes sense, right? So we have a provider ID, which we just found before. And we have event code. That's when you're doing the metadata get. You have here the somewhere here the event code. So for catalog product save after, for this provider, we want to send the webhook to this URL. That's quite easy, right? And then for creating registration, you're doing registration create and then file. And it's failed because that's interesting. Did it already? I haven't saved it. Sorry. Yeah, and that's it been created. So we have then all information about the registration, all the stuff, and so on. And then if you go to the interface itself and we'll refresh it, you will see that it's have to appear here. It's have to appear here. It's even called the webhook, which is directly marked as disabled. By the reason those two, I guess, also mark it as disabled because I haven't validated. That's what I explained in the last video. So the webhooks have to be validated. Go to webhook site, then hit retry again. Oh, that's nice. That doesn't work anymore. Why? Let's have a look. Challenge Pro validation URL response 44 road could not be found. Nice. Yeah, there was a mistake. I know. Okay, I got it. So the mistake was here. By the way, that's a very good example. So we have a mistake. Let's try update. Nice. You cannot update it. Sorry. So we can only make delete. So technically you need to have a list. You have to find your registration. You have to delete it. Yes, I want to delete it. And then you can create the new one with already in this time with correct webhook URL. So we can go to the webhook itself just to validate it, because you see now I received it and now it's been successfully validated. What we can also do, we can find it now here. And after validation, we see that it's enabled. And we also see that it's been verified. By the way, one example I want to show you, I mentioned some time ago that you can have Webhook batch, which is multiple requests will be sent to the Webhook URL if they're coming together. And that's one example how the data will look like on the Webhook in the end. So you have here an array rather than one object, and you have like one and then the second product that's what's coming from Magento. Just for let you know. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we see each other on the next videos. Bye bye.